I have seen many, many times on self-improvement, people, especially younger people who are new to self-improvement, call other people Jeffries, bots, NPCs, etc, etc. Just because you're on self-improvement, and on self-improvement's a self-report by the way, but just because you're on self-improvement does not make you better than anyone. It doesn't. And frankly, every time I see it, it is a massive, just red, I don't want to say red flag, but it's a massive alarm bell for the fact that you are insecure. And that's okay. I'm insecure. Everyone's insecure. Everyone's inferior in some way, so they're insecure about it. That's fine. However, you are insecure about certain things. You are insecure about, let's say, maybe your money situation, but you have a good physique. So therefore, you have flipped it, and you now have a superiority complex about your physique. And now anyone who is like skinny or overweight or doesn't work out, you believe yourself is better than them, but you're not. No one's better than anyone in reality. We're all equal, but we're not the same. Now, when it comes to this, it's going to be a shock to some people when they realize this. Whenever you call other people a Jeffrey or an NPC or a bot, it's a projection based on your own actions. Because those who are happy or successful don't spend their time tearing other people down. And that's just kind of a fact. I don't think you'd find anyone who's happy or successful wasting their time to drag other people down and make them feel worse. So there are some habits that you understand you're not supposed to be doing, or some habits that you know you're supposed to be doing, but you're not doing, or some kind of mindset thing, or maybe even the complete act of saying these things makes you feel bad because you know you should be stoic, or you know you should be mindful, right? You understand that there is something wrong because you would not be saying these things if you were happy or successful, and that's okay. The thing is, you need to stop comparing yourself to other people. And I realized this recently when I was reading The Courage to be Disliked. It mentions that when you are in constant competition with others, when you are constantly comparing yourselves to others, when you're judging yourself against others, and yes, in your mind, your subjective view, you may be better than person A, but that means you are worse than person B. As soon as you create competition, you have got the ones on top, the ones on bottom, and then wherever you are in the middle. Someone always has it better, someone always has it worse. But if you remove this comparison against others, which most of the time actually causes a lot of insecurities anyway, and a lot of feelings of inferiorness, you end up realizing, okay, now you'll still feel insecure, and you still feel inferior, because that's in comparison to your ideal self. And your ideal self is who you want to be in like 10, 15 years time, for example. What version of yourself is the ideal version of yourself? And then you realize that you're not taking appropriate steps towards it. Now, feelings of inferiority are not negative. I don't believe there's any kind of feelings that are negative, because all feelings tell us something. If you're insecure about your weight, that is your brain telling you that things need to change. And yes, it's not a precedingly nice feeling. The feeling doesn't feel great. It's not like happiness or relatedness, but it's telling you something. Feelings are your body telling your brain something is wrong and something needs to change. If you get disrespected, you'll be angry. If someone passes away that you know, you'll be sad. And that is your body telling you these things. So when you strip away the competition against people, which is hard to do, I know, and the less type of people that you judge especially, the better you'll feel about yourself as well, because you won't be comparing yourself to others, so therefore you won't be thinking about, oh, well, I've got a better physique than him, but he looks way better than me, now I feel like shit. And it's like, no, you want to go towards your ideal self, and it will be a constant battle between you of yesterday versus you of today for you of tomorrow. You'll be always against your previous habits, your previous thoughts, your previous whatevers, in order to do better today, in order to grow, so that tomorrow the fight's a little bit easier. And this self-improvement stuff, it's not easy. No one ever said it was easy. I feel like I kind of gaslit myself into thinking it would be all sunshine and rainbows, but it's not. A lot of it comes down to emotional intelligence, general kind of understanding of self, reflection. So I'd always recommend journaling and meditation. So you now get to this point of you've got just you and your ideal self. Because as long as you're making progress towards that goal of being your ideal self, then you're making progress towards it. You're growing. There is growth there. That ideal self is now one step closer, one brick closer. And yes, You may want it to be faster, granted everyone does, but don't cut corners, because if you cut corners, that's how the building falls down, right? That's how you get like waterlog and then it just collapses. Every day is a brick towards it, your ideal self. And you'll realize and you'll see that certain people on self-improvement, certain people who, live the self-improvement lifestyle, for example, they do not spend their time tearing down others because they do know that it does no benefit to anyone. It is of no benefit. It is not a good thing. Good comes from the Greek word that basically means of benefit. It is not of benefit. No one benefits. You could argue that you feel slightly better about yourself for maybe 5 seconds, then you feel like crap because you're like, oh, actually, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I should be a bit better than that. No one gains from it. And the thing is, when you judge others, it's a massive self-report. When I see in Discords that are self-improvement based, or I'm in a school, I'm in Ruff's club, like on school for YouTube stuff, and you see people sometimes they'll say things like bots and NPC, and it's just a massive self-report, and it just tells people that they're unhappy and they're unsuccessful, and people don't want to really interact with them that much. I don't. When people say that stuff, I'm like, I'll stay away from you, because I know for a fact that you compare yourself to others, and when you compare yourself to others, you cannot be happy truly for other people's successes. Now think about a friend who's recently had a success. Recently something's gone really, really well for them, or maybe someone you kind of know, like an acquaintance or something. Have you been truly, with all your heart, happy for them? Chances are no, if you genuinely compare yourselves to others, because you're thinking, oh man, why does he get that? I want that. And you're not actually capable of being happy for other people when you compare yourselves to other people. And I know that a lot of people in the self-improvement niche will say, oh, competition's great. Yes, with a comrade, right? With a brother, with someone who is going to push you forward, someone that you are friends with. Competition with random people that don't even know that there is a game being played currently in your mind, that is the game of I am better than them, I am worse than them. They couldn't give a toss. They do not care. They don't even know the game exists, and if they did know it exists, they'll probably think you're pretty sad, and that's kind of the reality, unfortunately. And not to kind of lecture anyone, I know, because it's kind of been a bit of a rant, but when you constantly compare yourself to others, when you constantly do not allow yourself to just grow against yourself of yesterday, and you have these just random anomalies of people who have completely different circumstances to you, completely different home lives, completely different countries of birth, completely different histories, completely different experiences, and you're comparing yourselves to them so you can feel better or worse about yourself. You get no benefit. It is of no benefit. So to finish up, don't compare yourself to others. Don't judge others. Don't compete against others unless they are your friends, your brothers, and they know that the game is being played, and they know that it's for you to push yourselves further and further and further. When you call other people mean things, for lack of a better term, it's a self-report. It says that you're unhappy, it says that you're unsuccessful, and it's going to push people away from you. So think, because I have immediately felt so much better from just simply not comparing myself to others, not judging others, and not competing against others, just competing against me of yesterday and me of tomorrow and my ideal self.